We back again on this championship Sunday. You know what it is. Trash talking with the old heads. I'm your host, Dante, along with the homies. Greg, what it
up?
do?
What is up? What is up? What is up? No excuses. You play like a champion. And that's what the OKC Thunder just did.
Just finished them off.
They on stage right now, getting their trophy, getting their hats.
I'm curious, what's your new saying, Jerry?
Yeah, that one.
No need for a new saying. Why play like a champion when you can be a champion?
Hey, Soldier Boy.
Why not?
Next time he say that shit, I need you to come through with your shield and your axe. Who cut his legs off?
Who would have thought that the OKC Thunder's first championship would come under Shai Gilgeous Alexander's name? Who would have thought that?
Well,
but my question would be, what are the LA Clippers thinking right now?
Well, hey, listen, I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm going to take my credit. When the shit happened, I told y'all that they was getting rid of SGA for Paul George, and it was going to be something they was going to regret because I saw his talent early.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it.
I'm going to take my credit.
I said it.
I said they was winning the chip.
I did too.
I'm gonna take my credit. I said it at the beginning of the year when Jerry said no. When he said no way,
he said no way.
No way.
I didn't say they was gonna win the chip, but I said they were a contender.
I don't know. I don't remember him saying.
You heard me say.
I said it.
The Thunder
I said it because I told
you. Heard me say that they were contenders.
I told you that. What I said is they went through.
Both of y'all was talking about taking the field.
No.
Yeah. That's another conversation.
That's a whole different thing. We were talking about your team when it came to that.
Yes, we were talking about contenders for the title this year.
Right.
It's on wax.
And I told you they went through something. I told you they went through enough last year where this year they could get over.
They could take a next step.
I told you that.
My point is, I'm surprised that Shai got them a title, got OKC their first title before KD, before Westbrook, before James Harden, before Ibaka. It's surprising. It's surprising.
Hey man, a lot goes into winning championships. Who knows? Who's to say?
We're gonna get into
Who's to say that if Halliburton had not got hurt?
3 for 4, 3 threes before he went down.
But before we get into that, what we need to ask the folks to do?
You already know.
What y'all need to do, people?
Button, man.
Come on now.
YouTube.com. Trash talking with the old heads, man. We definitely appreciate it. We're trying to roll towards 1,000 subscribers. So we definitely appreciate all the support. Keep supporting us. We definitely going to keep coming with the content. Also, the Facebook page. You can join the group, man. We talk a lot of shit about sports and other stuff. Trash talking with the old heads on Facebook as well.
A lot of these conversations are birthed right there in the group. So we ask, come on, support the old heads, become part of the old head nation.
It's a movement. You know what we doing, you know what I'm saying?
We talk we say what y'all want to say. We say what y'all might can't say.
Exactly. We ain't in these streets no more. We in these seats. In the basement, baby. In the basement. We ain't in the streets no more. We in the seats. You know what I'm saying? Right here at the crib.
Let go.
But we got to start with what we just watched here together, fellas.
What we just
OKC. Unfortunately for the Pacers, man, the main man went down. Halliburton looked ugly. Looked like his season for next year it's a wrap for him for next year. But
last game of the season.
You hate to see it. You really can't blame him for playing, though, man. You don't know if you're gonna get back to this point. G, what's your thoughts on the injury, man, and its impact on the game, bro?
Man, of course it had significant impact. I think. Like when we was talking during the game, I said this is gonna be a tough task, a tall task for Indiana to overcome.
They tried for a half.
Yeah, and they when it initially happened, you could tell they were shook as well as they should be, and then they had a little bit of burst. I think they caught OKC off guard a little bit. They didn't know where to attack.
Right, they let down a little bit. Like they exhaled a little bit.
But you can see, I'm pretty sure the halftime speech went something like this: "Get y'all shit together. This is our moment. It's our time." I'm guarantee you that halftime conversation went like that. And they came out there.
The coach was being real. Who the fuck they got left? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck do they have left?
Siakam.
No, right. No way in hell, Shai. I would have looked right at his ass. No way in hell, Shai. we supposed to lose this damn game.
Yeah,
because I was gonna be on his ass had they lost.
That would have been a bad loss had they lost this game 7 at home, with Halliburton missing damn near the rest of the game.
The announcers were setting up that bullshit. He ain't getting no help. They were setting up the excuse for him. Jerry, what's your thoughts, bro?
Horrible that Halliburton went down.
It was. You hate to see it like that, bro.
I like the way they played close in the first half. I've been screaming this ever since they started the finals. Why isn't Siakam getting the ball more? I felt like Siakam should have got a hell of a lot more touches the rest of the game, and that didn't happen. And I understand it's harder to get him the ball in the spaces and when you don't have your entire team, but that really, really should have been the focus, because that's really the only pressure you could have put on this particular defense. I don't know if they played their best in the second half. It didn't feel like it. Their best was definitely in the first half.
Too many turnovers,
and they couldn't sustain it. Again, hats off to them for getting this far. Hats off to the Thunder for winning their first title in their city's tenure. They don't have to worry about having that Seattle banner over their head anymore, which they weren't going to put up anyway. That's a whole nother story. But kudos, tips off to the champions. They got it done.
No doubt, man. Like I said, it's one of those things, man. I know, we were talking during the game when I was telling in the second half, McConnell, when your offense is running through McConnell,
right, you
got problems. And he get the same amount of shots in the game as Siakam, you got a problem.
Yeah,
Mathurin had more shots than Siakam. He got to the line a lot. He was 10 for 10 from the line. So he did his part, but not enough Siakam, bro.
Yeah,
boy out. Not enough.
But they couldn't. How was they going to get him the ball? How was they going to run an
effective
set?
Who was going to do it? Right.
I have an answer to that question.
Who?
Number one, Turner set the screen, actually screen somebody, which helps the ball handler get open. Or if they pull somebody to stop you from penetrating off the screen, then that leaves somebody else open. Opportunity for a kick, opportunity for a swing when the defense rotates. Turner, set the screen first, touch somebody, screen somebody, instead of rolling out and popping back out behind the three-point line like he did all night in all series, getting lost in traffic, having no effect up there. At one point, they had Jay Williams playing center. If Jay Williams is playing center, then you play center and go down there and get you some easy buckets against a dude that's 6'5", 6'6". But that didn't happen. But go ahead.
Well, I get your point. That's just not how they play. You can't switch it on and off. Like, okay, let me run this now. If that's not how they had been playing the entirety of the playoffs or the entirety of the season, he runs those brush screens so he can pop.
There's no such thing as a brush screen, Greg.
What is the screen called in, Jerry?
No, screen is a screen.
No.
A brush screen is a moving screen, which is illegal.
No, they set those screens and then they roll off of it. They don't stick.
The coaches plays.
Right. He said it just long enough so he does not get. You know what the hell I'm talking about. He was setting the screen to pop.
No.
For the three.
I mean, you can call it a soft screen, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
We know what I'm
talking about.
They're not
trying
to. It's not a screen if you don't screen somebody. It's not a screen. That's the way the game.
It's not an effective screen.
Now
you can say that, but it's how they play.
That's how they play. He run the ghost screen like Klay Thompson and the Steph did. They run the ghost screen.
There's only one
fake screen and move out.
There's only one way to
or do a set of soft screen, brush screen, whatever you want to call it.
You run a screen is to actually screen somebody. When you're up there playing in traffic and you ain't actually screening somebody,
again, that's
the play is broke down right there.
Have you seen them do that all season?
All I'm saying is when the coach draws up a play, execute it. So they had poor execution. I understand they didn't have their star player, but Turner.
To me, you just hit on the
you
problem.
have to
They had
execute.
21 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? They had 21 turnovers.
And TJ
You know what I'm
McConnell
saying?
had at least 7 of them.
He did exactly 7 of them. So he had a third of the turnover. Yeah, he kept him in the game for a while with some big shots, but he also turned the ball over a lot. You know what I'm saying?
maybe-
He's a backup point guard.
But maybe
Right.
if your center actually
And then
sets a
what he
screen,
does-
it helps you.
What
not
he
turn the ball
does,
over.
he's more of a I got to get my shot type of guy. He's not a setup guy. He's a hustle player, and he was thrust into a role that he was not used to playing.
Wasn't ready for the moment.
And then you're trying to tell them to do something different than what they've done. Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
What
We knew it was going to be an uphill battle when Halliburton went down. We all said it when he went down. It was going to. They were going to have to play out of their minds to win this.
Right.
Game, you know what I'm saying? And not turn the ball.
They needed 30 from Siakam.
Right.
They needed 20 from Ben Mathurin.
Right.
They needed Turner to hit a couple open
And don't
threes.
turn the damn ball over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all
Instead
that
of
none of
22
that
turnovers, you
happened.
can have 15.
The reason I'm harping on the screen part is because when you lose a good player, especially with the type of team they have don't have any stars on the team without Halliburton on the team. Then execution has to be at the forefront of what you do. You got to execute. So if you're a fast-paced team, rebound, get it out. Let's get it up the court. I saw a couple of times somebody got the rebound and handed it to Obi Toppin to get the ball up the court. What the hell is that? That's losing your mind and being
That's
frantic
playing
in the
and
moment.
out of position and out of the comfort of what you normally do, Jerry. It's just
And when
there's nothing you can do when
you are a professional athlete. Those are the things that you have to eliminate. Those are things that you have to focus on. You have to minimize your mistakes and execute.
Hey, man.
You're in the moment too, though.
You're in the moment. This
Game
happened
7,
during the game.
Right, game 7.
This wasn't
everybody trying to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Without
on the fly.
On the fly.
It was a tall task.
Yeah, it was a tall
You
task.
cannot expect them
Great
to
effort
overcome.
by both teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a good series. It was a really good series.
The game changed in the third quarter when they went on that run,
Right.
and that's
Which they
it.
always do. You knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always want to say, man, good NBA season, bro. It was a good season. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the NBA season.
What I
was
want to
all the basketball perfect? No, but it was a good season.
What
You know
I
I'm
want to
saying?
hear is because this guy picked the Pacers so that it could prove something. What was it going to prove, Jerry? What was it proving? That it was the weakest what?
Even without the Pacers,
But
win.
that, you heard him say this before.
Yeah. I don't know why you want to hear me repeat it.
Yeah, I want to hear your reason why this is the weakest the weakest era in basketball.
Well, number one, I'm looking at Indiana making it to the NBA Finals. This is not this. I believe that Halliburton reached All-Star status this year.
Fuck out of here.
2 years in a row, back-to-back Eastern Conference.
You mean superstar status?
I'm sorry, superstar status. The clutch moments he had.
I knew
this
that's what
year,
you was referring to,
the
but
clutch moments he had this year. When you go to
I can't wait till we have this conversation on superstar because it's forever changing. It's forever changing.
No, it's not forever changing.
What does I fail to see I fail to see how does that equate to being in the conference finals equates to just automatically boosting you to a superstar.
Because you're the best player on the team.
Let me ask you this.
He didn't even win the damn Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Let me ask you.
And I'm high on Halliburton.
He should have.
I think he's approaching superstar
He should have,
status.
though.
But he's not a superstar.
The fact is, there was
now.
a
He
good
should
debate
have.
on. I can see why Siakam won.
He should have, though. In my opinion, he should have. I think they got that wrong, just like they got the Finals MVP wrong.
I mean, but
with Iguodala.
Halliburton averaged 18 and 8. Man, those aren't.
Right.
I mean, they're not bad numbers. I think
What
Halliburton.
did Siakam average?
He was averaging over 20. He was averaging over 20. Let me pull up the numbers.
But before we do that, let's move it a little bit forward. Looking towards the next season. Is this something special building for OKC or are they one and done?
No, I think this
Can they be dynastic? I know it's way out in front.
I can't wait to hear this answer.
I'm still trying to hear this answer on why this is the
I'm gonna get back to that, but go ahead.
why this is the weakest era
Wait.
because that's befuddling to me. But again, no, I'm not sick calling them dynastic. I'm trying to tell you guys is that, and you see the proof is in the pudding. There's a new champion since the 2018-2017 Dubs. There have been a new champion every single season. There have been different finals. There hasn't been a team to make the finals back to back since the Dubs. Okay, so, I mean the Golden State Dubs, the Warriors with KD, Steph, and Clay, and Draymond, and Iggy. So it's a new era of basketball where there's a lot more parity. Parity. Now you can say that's not a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I like to see the youngsters being able to compete with some of the more founded and established superstars in the league. So no, I don't think it's a dynasty, but they got an opportunity to be. They got an opportunity to repeat.
What you think, Jerry? Yay, nay?
Well, when I look at the entire landscape of the league, they got a shot. I mean, my Celtics are down. Indiana won't be back with Halliburton out. The Knicks, the Knicks fired their coach. They got to find a coach, and they're planning on making moves, so that has to happen. Milwaukee is done. So looking over the landscape, you got Dallas. Dallas won't be doing anything without Kyrie.
Right.
Seriously. Can the Lakers do something? They're already trying to poach players, so if they're going to open up the spending, I guess they can become a title contender. So it's possible. The way that the style of play that they were able to get off this year was playing the gang tackle defense. That type of mentality is going to help them because the league is not built on defense anymore. It's all about scoring. So if they can keep this core together
and find some 3-point shooting,
and yeah, they're definitely going to have to get. They're going to have to get. They do need to get better in that regard, but it's a testament that even in this era,
right,
with all the jackball trades and the teams that adopt that,
I agree,
is not necessarily the way you have to go in order to win a championship. It looked that way when the Warriors, and I always say, if you ain't got Steph and Clay, why are you playing like that? But the league was leaning toward that direction. So if we can get back to some defense and actually having an opposition against the offensive onslaught that this.
It was only your boys that was all that jackballing that won the championship because the team before that was the Denver Nuggets. They wasn't jackballing threes. The team before that was who? Was Golden State.
I said Golden State.
Golden State and Boston.
Yeah, but you
said the only two teams that won the championship.
Okay, now it's two. All right. The entire league has moved to three.
I said y'all were the only other team.
I think Cleveland shot. I think Cleveland was up there in threes this year.
Did they win a championship?
No, they did not
win
the championship, but they have adopted the three ball.
That's okay. That's okay.
And just like more than half the league has done, G. That's no secret. So there's no talking.
That's okay.
For you to say Boston is the only team, come on, get out of here with that.
I said Boston is the only other team to have won a championship, jackballing threes. Over the course of this time that we just talked about, since Golden State was the back-to-back champion in 2018, there have been the only two teams out of how many? 7 that have won a championship jackballing. So yeah, you can win other ways, and other teams know that.
Golden State was in the finals for most of those years. So come on, tilt the hat to that. They were in those finals.
Which finals?
Huh?
The one that they was in the 2019 finals.
We just played them in the finals 2 years.
They was in the 2019 finals, and then they was in the 2022 finals.
Okay,
that's it.
So I'm gonna go to your question on why I don't believe in what I'm seeing in this league, and this is one of the weakest eras to me. Right? We start out with the soft play, right? They don't allow them to play. They did try to allow them to play a little bit physical in the playoffs, but that's not the league that we're watching. I call it one of the lowest IQs eras that we've ever witnessed. Why do I say that? Just today, we got a center that's playing in traffic at the key. They actually had Jay Will playing the 5, and instead of this guy who's 6'11" in Turner, Lego plans with ass type dude, Instead of him going on the block and working out and getting some easy buckets, he's just picking and popping. That's like, when are you gonna actually pick somebody, touch somebody, physically stop somebody from chasing your point guard around and get your butt to the block, get your butt to the front of the rim so that you can lay Jay Will, who's 6'6", somebody you got 4 inches on. Come on, man. So that type of thing. I can't stand to see a big man who has an advantage with his size not take advantage of his size in the low block. So I can't stand that part of the game.
So before we move on, last question, same question we asked last year about the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, Thunder or the field, G?
Give me the field. There will be another champion next year. OKC won't repeat. They got a chance. Taking the field.
Man, it's tough to say because we got movement. You know, we got movement.
It's hard to say after this draft get over.
We got a lot of movement still to come, so I can't really give an answer on that right now.
If I had the answer now, I would probably go field because I'm with you. I think it's a lot still coming before, during, and maybe even after this draft. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of movement too, so I kind of need to see it. So I would probably go field right now.
And I'm definitely waiting on the ball to drop to see what my Celtics are going to do. Everything
because they're going to have to get under that second April.
Yeah.
Something got to happen. Something got to give.
Everything I've read before now and up to now, listen, it's over. Is what it
from what I'm reading is everybody but Tatum and Brown. Everybody else can get it, is what I've been hearing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else can get it. They don't want to break those two up, but anybody else can get it.
Jalen is up for discussion. You can't do nothing with Tatum because he's hurt, but Jalen has been up for discussion and some of the stuff.
I don't think they're going to do it because I think they're going to value him more than I think the market will as far as giving up a whole bunch for him. But we'll see, man.
Break them up.
We'll see. It's over for them anyway, so it don't matter. They might well break them up.
Done and done.
Let's move on to your boy. Lay not goat.
Paper dynasty dudes.
The Mr. Lay Not Goat, who came out this week on this pod trying to set narratives again.
Let's get some exact words.
Oh man, let me get it back up. You know what I'm saying? Let me get it. Let's get it up back up. Then I had it up.
He's on a campaign now.
We on the LeBron shit.
Yes,
already.
We are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Already, sir.
He's on a campaign. He's been on a campaign ever since the season ended.
So
there's a campaign going.
Let me get it up here. Let me get it.
Please do. Let's hear these words that y'all are so offended by.
All right. Let's see. What do we want to
It's got y'all panties in a bunch.
Let's see. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the end-all, be-all of everything, LeBron said. You tell me Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash weren't fucking unbelievable. Nobody ever says that. But okay. They can't be talked about with these guys because they won rings. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Tom Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. He has two. They don't ever discuss that in their sport. Yes, they do. Or tell me Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things. Barry Bonds never won a World Series, and you can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. That's debatable. Jerry West went to like 9
Is he not considered one, before you move, is he not considered one of the greatest baseball players of all time? No championship. Okay.
Definitely before Roy.
I'm still trying to hear what he said that was wrong.
9 straight NBA finals and was only able to win one ring, and he's the logo of our league, LeBron said.
Is that wrong?
So you can't sit here and tell me that, okay, because he only won one, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3. Like, why not?
Didn't what he said was wrong? Where did he say that was wrong? This the floor is y'all. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do.
It's hypocritical of him to do that when you spent all of your career chasing the thing now you're talking about doesn't matter as much, shouldn't matter as much.
Did he say that?
Yes, that's basically what he said.
He said it doesn't matter as much. You just read it. Your words were.
See, now you want to be silly. You want to be silly with the shit to protect the dude. No, you want to be silly with the shit to protect the dude.
Being silly? I'm asking you a fucking question.
Come on, dog.
I'm asking you a fucking question.
What he's intimating is, I'm saying, because I have 4, that means I can't be the GOAT. That's basically what the fuck he said. Let's get right the fuck to it because we ain't got all fucking night.
So you project.
What he's saying is, I didn't get to the 6 like I thought I would when I said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 6. Okay, damn, I thought I was going to actually get there. But since I didn't, I got to shape this narrative around this 4 that I got because I'm not going to get to 6. So how can I get the other people to say I'm the GOAT? Rings don't matter as much now. I chased them for all these years, but now, we shouldn't just be talking about ring culture. No. Let me shape this narrative before I get the fuck out of here. So when I leave, I can shape it even more and be like, see, I won 4 and it wasn't good enough for them. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Brian, ain't nobody hearing that shit. You talked about rings you chased them your whole career. You went from here to there to here to there to get rings. And now ring culture don't matter. Nigga, you started this ring culture in this era. You started the ring chasing shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm so sick. I'm with you, Jay. Get the fuck out. Go away, dog. Just go away now. Just because now you being disingenuous with the shit. I would be cool with him. Just say it. I think I should be the GOAT because I have 4 in all the stats. Just come out like a man and say that shit. I got all the fucking stats and 4 rings. I think I should be the GOAT. Stop trying to make the narrative fit your situation. That's the disingenuous shit that I don't like. Don't do that bullshit, dog. Come on, man. Come on, dog. You chased rings your whole goddamn career. You left Cleveland the first time to chase rings with Braun and Bosh. You know that's what he did, G. And now ring culture is a bad thing. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. I'm done with this bullshit, man. I'm done with this motherfucker, man. Fuck LeBron. Fuck Bron.
Wow.
Now I'm on fuck Bron.
Wow.
And then because he pissed me off with the bullshit, dog.
Yeah.
Just say what you really mean. I think I'm the GOAT because I got 4 rings. The 6 losses shouldn't matter. I went to 10 straight. Just say that. And I'm good with it. I'm good.
So you projecting. Go ahead, Jerry.
You call it what you want, dog.
So you projecting. Go ahead.
You protecting is what you doing.
Go ahead, Jerry.
So let me ask you this. Because
I'm protecting
Well, before I
I'm sorry for you, Nina.
Tell me what you heard. He
just read it.
Hold on.
He just read it.
Great.
He just read what he said.
So
he just read it verbatim.
But you just said that he is projecting. That's what you said.
Yeah,
okay.
He just projected what he believed LeBron was doing. Is that not projecting?
Right. So I hear.
Okay, so say what you.
I hear some of the things that he said. I'm gonna actually say some of the things that he actually said. What I would like to know is without you going into your whole spiel. I know you want to be last or whatever. Blah blah blah.
I want to be last. I don't want to be last.
You just told both of us to go. So yeah, you want to be last. There's only 3 of us.
I just want to hear y'all.
Only 3 of us.
I asked the question.
So
what did he say that was wrong?
What I would like.
You are a ring culture.
What I would like is. Just tell me the basis of what you heard from what he said, out of what he said.
What he said was, I heard exactly what he said. There is no pretense or storyline that I'm going to try to portray on anybody when they say what the hell they say.
Who says
and
that?
Say what he means.
Who says Allen Iverson ain't great?
Okay. What he said was in those same conversations. He didn't say nobody ever says Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley weren't great. Did he say that?
What he said is you mean to tell me Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash weren't fucking unbelievable as a question? Who the fuck says that?
Okay.
Tell me who ever said.
Did he not end that by saying these guys can't be in the same conversations?
No, that was the end of that about them.
Man, stop it.
That was the end of that about them. Then he went on to Peyton Manning. But tell me, when does anybody ever say
the whole thing.
Allen Iverson, Chuck weren't great, weren't fucking unbelievable?
So he said that. So you're saying that he says nobody says Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley aren't great.
What he's intimating is that people say they aren't fucking unbelievable.
Right,
whoever says that.
Did you ask me a question or did you ask him?
Stupid shit.
Did you ask me a question or did you ask him?
Go ahead and.
Did you ask me a question or did you ask him?
I did, but
okay.
Get to it.
I just said what I said.
Okay.
He made a statement that he said before, that Michael Jordan has said before, that plenty of athletes have said before. It is not the end all, be all. He never said it's the only thing that shouldn't count. or stats is the only thing that shouldn't count. You guys are projecting that, saying that, and the sports media came on TV the very next morning saying LeBron said ring culture means that rings shouldn't matter. He said it should not be the end all be all. Was he on the narrative? Was he protecting his legacy? Of course. This was a narrative.
Okay, so
no. Let me finish my thoughts. Of course, this was a narrative. It was him protecting his legacy because he's the only one that ring culture is attributed to when we're talking about the top 10 greatest of the greats. He's the only one that has his losses shed above his losses, put in a position to where it's greater than his wins.
That's because
he's the only one.
It's because in 2016 he called himself the GOAT after renting.
I knew you was gonna say that.
In 2016, he said that he was the GOAT.
Yeah.
After beating the Golden State Warriors after coming back from down 3-1. So, yes, we do start the conversation about, hey, brother, why are you saying you the GOAT? You ain't got enough rings. He definitely didn't have enough rings.
I don't call him the GOAT. I don't call him the GOAT.
I said he. I didn't say you. I said he. So when he did that, then yes, everybody starts picking him apart like, whoa, brother. He's the only.
His conversation is definitely GOAT adjacent.
First of all, in 2016, he was the only one of any of the greats of the game to ever come out and proclaim himself the greatest basketball player of all time. I'm sorry, bro.
And when everybody didn't buy in
2016, you weren't. You weren't the GOAT. In my opinion, you weren't even better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At that
in your opinion, you don't have him in the top 12, so we don't even have to take that as any. So we had to take that with a grain of salt.
So when we start talking about ring culture, the first person I ever heard say ring culture and then ring culture be a negative thing is Nick Wright. Nick Wright, he was the first person I heard. I don't know if he started, but he was the first person I ever heard it from.
I ain't never heard that.
And as soon as I heard ring culture and how he put it out there and how he talked about ring culture, he himself started talking about it in a negative connotation, pointing at LeBron because he's one of LeBron's biggest apologists. I'm sorry, my bad. Fans. He's one of LeBron's biggest fans. He also works for him. Oh, my bad. But he was the guy that deemed ring culture a negative thing. As in, when we start trying to decide who is the very best basketball player ever as it pertains to the NBA, why can't it be LeBron just because he doesn't have 4 rings? He was the person that did that. So, yes, in my opinion,
they did that at 3 rings.
Exactly. In 2016, that was his 3rd ring, right? So he didn't. So you claimed yourself the GOAT at 3 rings before you even got 4, before you even had the all-time career totals and points, before you even passed Kareem in that, you called yourself the GOAT. So I wish I could ask the man why, although he said that the reason why was because he beat Golden State. Why would that make you the greatest of all time? Why would beating Golden State make you the greatest of all time when Michael Jordan is by far considered the greatest of all time? You didn't beat Mike. Now, if you beat Mike and the Bulls, then hey, you can call yourself you can call yourself the greatest of all time.
Was the Warriors a 73-9
Yeah.
Were they 73-9 in the same season? They was up 3-1 against the Cavs.
Okay.
Wasn't that the same season or the same series that LeBron led both teams in points, rebounds, assists, steals,
keep going,
blocks.
Bring it all out. Okay.
Okay, so that's his feelings.
Oh.
He thought that he was the GOAT. That he said that I felt like that's what made me the GOAT, was his words, for us to come back from that deficit. That's what he said. But carry on.
I mean,
and he's been trying to Build
So
a
what does-
legacy.
By that logic, I
So
could've said
so
that. I could've
again,
said that was the greatest
so
of all time
again,
in a damn pickup
so
game.
again,
One of my
I've
best
I've
pickup
heard
games.
all the basketball players say that ring culture has become more about who got the most rings rather than what they did on the floor. I heard Tracy McGrady say it. I heard Jason Williams say it. I heard Kenyon Martin say it. All the people that got the podcast, all the ballers, but leave it up to y'all to get offended by something he said on his podcast, which was actually a question brought up by a fan. They was reading questions by fans. That's number one. Number two, when have we ever heard another player say that rings don't, more rings, me having less rings than another player don't make me greater than him and it don't make him greater than me? We ever heard that before? Have we heard that before? Yeah, we have. Michael Jordan said that in reference to him and your boy Bill Russell years ago. Let's
And in that same interview,
let's go back.
Hold on, time out.
Let's go back. I'm not done.
In that very same interview, later on, when asked the question between who's the best between LeBron and Kobe, Michael Jordan said, "Man, that's tough. Five
is better." That wasn't the same interview. He said 5 is greater than 1. And after that conversation, LeBron came back and said the same thing basically that he said in this podcast.
What? Which is what?
After 1 ring, which is a championship, having more championships does not mean that a player should be.
You lost me. What now?
He said the same thing. I posted it. Go back and look. I posted it on the book.
LeBron
said basically the same thing he said on the podcast about having more rings shouldn't be the end all be all of how you judge a player's legacy. Basically the same thing. After 1 championship, before he said that made me feel that championship right there made me feel like I was the GOAT. Before. So it's the same thing. Why are we getting our panties in a bunch for something that he said that had. Again, I asked after you read your statement, after you read the transcript, the only thing y'all are bringing up is your projected feelings of what he's doing as far as the narrative. Has that changed? Has he been trying to proclaim himself the GOAT? Has he been doing narratives?
Yeah.
Has he been saying?
Yeah.
Okay then. So what's changed? Have I not been saying in this own podcast and our podcast to each other that a championship does not? It's a team accomplishment. Oh. That's what he said. It is a team accomplishment. We just witnessed it. We just witnessed what happened. You have to have things happen. Right. You have to have things go on your side.
All right, let me.
No, ain't no. All right, let me finish. No, I let you cook without interrupting.
I haven't even got my turn. So what you talking about? No, I haven't.
I let you cook, Jerry. You just talk about 10 minutes.
Dante went, and then I asked you a question, and you've been going. I didn't.
Go ahead. Stop it.
Go ahead.
You asked me a question and I threw it back to you.
Go ahead.
And I threw it back to you.
Keep going.
Again, my question to you again. We've heard him say this before. Years ago, after they won their first title. Wasn't brought up. Wasn't nobody mad about it. We just heard this podcast. The words that he said weren't wrong or incorrect.
I can't recall what the hell he talking about right now.
Go on the Facebook.
That's the thing I'm struggling with.
Go on the Facebook and pull it up. Yeah.
So
basically what happened was they asked Mike, like you just said, who was better, Kobe or LeBron? Mike said
he's been asked that several times.
Mike said 5 is greater than 1, which means that he only had 1 championship. When they asked LeBron this.
The interview I'm talking about was with the interview.
Why do you keep interrupting me and you asking me the same damn question?
Because you're not talking about the same shit I was talking about. The interview I'm talking about, he didn't say 5 is better than 1. He said 5 beats 2.
No, he said 5 beats 1. Because listen, man.
The interview I'm talking about. Michael Jordan has been asked that question several times. He was asked that question at a camp. At his basketball camp, he said Kobe.
And that brings my other point up, and I'll mention it in a second.
With this guy,
and I'll mention it in a second, world. I'll mention it in a second, world.
Omar Rashad, that's who it was with. When Omar Rashad
okay, I got it.
He said Kobe, 5 beats 2.
I got that. But at this time, it was 5 beats 1. This is what he said. Because they asked LeBron and they asked him his thoughts on what Mike said. And LeBron basically said the same thing. Championships are not the only criteria that you should judge a player's legacy on. This was after the first championship, which means that this happened in 2012, 2013, something to that effect. So he said the same thing. It's nothing new. He's been painting narratives trying to protect his legacy.
Now you doing like
forever.
Charles Barkley and repeating your fucking self. So come on, wrapping the shit up, man.
You repeating yourself. You repeating yourself.
You repeating yourself.
I'm having
the third time you've said that.
Because you keep repeating. You keep interrupting me.
All right.
I don't interrupt you. I don't interrupt you.
I don't know. We got film. We do have film.
Listen, man. What I'm saying is that nothing in that interview or nothing in that podcast he said that was any different than something he's uttered before. And nothing he said was wrong.
And it don't.
This is a team accomplishment.
Right.
It isn't the singular thing that you should judge a legacy on. It's not.
Okay.
And it should never be.
All right, great. You done?
And
my point is nobody does that.
Hold on.
Nobody just says that.
Hold on.
Nobody says Bill Russell the greatest of all time.
He said,
we just had that fucking conversation.
Exactly.
He said so come on with the and.
However, the and is,
come on,
is
man.
that
don't nobody say that. Nobody does that actually. That's the shit I'm talking about. Nobody fucking does it.
So we do ring shit all the time.
Not just rings.
Yes,
no,
a lot of people do
we
that.
just had this conversation in the Mount
I
Rushmore talking about fucking Bill Russell. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody do that shit.
I knew all this shit he was saying, he was gonna come and try to say all we want to talk about is ring.
That's not what we do.
No, wait. No, my turn.
We just had this conversation about Bill Russell.
We was talking about in the conversation of the Mount Rushmore.
Here we go.
That's what we was talking about, the Mount Rushmore. And what I was about to say was the ring shit is always being included in the conversation when we talk about LeBron.
Right.
There is nothing else.
Okay. Here we go.
It's the finals losses.
That's okay.
Why? Because you don't have anything else. You don't have nothing else, Jerry. You have nothing else.
You have went full on. You have went full on Clutch Sports LeBron narrative. First of all, when we discuss the greats, there is never a time we've discussed the greats and it's only been about rings. Never. I ain't never had the discussion about who's the greatest basketball player of all time and left it at rings. Never.
Cause that's the case. Okay, let's go. Bill, Mike. We can just go down the list.
Robert Ory got 7.
Right. Don't nobody do that.
That don't make sense. It don't make sense.
No one
when
does
we talk
that.
about the greats, we talk about
it's a differentiator between great players.
We talk about all encompassing. You know, I'm gonna tell you the people who do count rings, like I just said, Michael Jordan said 5 beats 2 or whatever. Those upper echelon people, that's what they do when they get in the same room. And I've seen
Magic did it when talking about Curry. He said when he gets 5 rings, 3 MVPs, because you're talking about the top of the top. You got to differentiate with something.
I get that. I never said that rings don't matter. But hold on, before you move forward, you just said Michael Jordan said 5 beats 2, but he just also said 6. He got 6 and Bill got 11. So which is it?
So
which is it?
I've also seen Magic.
Be consistent, my nigga.
I've also seen Magic in a side by side sitting with Bird, right? When they asked the question of who better or whatever, Bird himself said it to Magic and the interviewer. He's got 5 and I got 3, right? So when those guys do it, I can hear that all day because that's what they play for. The greatest of all times play for the championships. Now all of a sudden you got KD. Greg, don't open your fucking mouth.
And I just heard Bird say he was better.
Come on, Greg.
I just heard Bird say he was better.
Come on, Greg.
Come on, man.
Let him fucking pride, my nigga, on this dumbass shit LeBron talking about, man. Damn. I lost my fucking point. So the upper echelon players are the ones that talk about count rings, and they earn that right. That's what they play for. Now we got KD coming on talking about the unimportance of rings. LeBron doing the same thing. This campaign he started ever since the season ended for him in the first round this year. Listen, rings do matter. Because if you want to be the greatest of all time, you're going to need to have more than 4. The reason why you need more than 4, Mr. All the Points, Mr. Career Leader in Points, and some others. Okay, great, fantastic. That's great. It goes toward it. But because you only got 4, you can't pass Michael Jordan. You are Greg, cut it out, dog. You can't pass Michael Jordan with all those stats and your 4 rings. And you lost 6 and you had 6 other opportunities to actually get the job done, and you failed miserably. You've had all these. You've had more advantages than the players that have come before you. You've had more advantages than Magic. Magic and Mike and Kareem and these other players. They didn't play in an era where they were allowed to score. Did they play in that era? And I know Brian played early on in the 50-50 area where we get to that line of we thought we saw the best basketball player. I get that, right? But that's an advantage he had. The other advantage he had in order to try to get it done, Clutch Sports. He got his own agency. He's getting his own players, getting the players he wants on his team. He's in the front office making moves. He's doing all of these things, and the dude still get to the finals and still lose. Nobody in the history of the game has had more all-star teammates when trying to go get championships than LeBron fucking James. Nobody.
You done or you
Nobody.
finished? You finished or you done?
Nobody. No, I'm not.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. So when he starts this particular conversation, and he's once again, and I don't care how you try to frame it, how you try to word it, what he has been doing is painting the narrative of how he can be considered the greatest of all time, even though he thought he called himself the greatest in 2016 after he won his 3rd ring. Like I said before he even got the career totals points, he said he was the GOAT back then. Right? Yeah, you said that his conversation ain't changed or whatever, was new. Well,
I said it. It's the truth. He said it.
Just because it's not new don't mean he was wrong. He was wrong in 2016, and he was wrong the other day whenever he recorded this bullshit with Steve.
Again, Nash. What did he say that was wrong? You never pointed out what he said was wrong.
The narrative that he's painting when he's trying
that's
to
your narrative that you think he's painting.
No, that's what he's doing.
No, but you don't know that. You're projecting again.
If that's not what he's doing, Greg, then he wouldn't have to say a damn thing. He wouldn't have to say a damn thing.
I believe that he's doing a narrative. I believe he's doing a narrative. I believe he's trying to protect his legacy because
why does his legacy need protecting?
Because of people like you. Because of people like you and Skip Baylesses of the world and the fucking what's his boy name off of Speak? Rick, whatever his name.
Sorry?
Rob Parker. Plenty of them. They get on the airways every single day and try, just like this conversation. Tracy McGrady, I don't know. Where did he say that was wrong? They got everybody so offended. People came, he's saying that rings don't matter. He didn't say that.
I guess my thing,
he didn't say that.
He got as many people on his side.
He didn't say that.
Nick Wright, Colin Coward, they always.
Stephen A.
We got just as many on the other side.
Stephen A. just said this past week that Giannis would be an underachiever if he only won 1 ring. That's what he's talking about.
Nothing to do with
it's the exact thing of what he's trying to protect. Yeah, he's trying to protect his legacy, but he also trying to steer the conversation about rings as being the only thing.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
To him being the great.
See, I heard
whatever,
that, and I
he
saw
already
that.
said he was the greatest.
Let me respond to that because
he been doing that.
I heard
that ain't no change.
I heard Stephen A. when he said that. I didn't take it the way everybody else took it. I took it at him saying, you're such a great player. I expect you at that level that you're at up here. it would be underachievement if you don't get more because we expect more from him. Not saying you're not great.
He said,
I didn't take it that way. What he was saying,
because of Giannis's ability,
right?
That's what he said. But
your greatness is so much that we expect you to win more.
But look at Giannis's career. What has happened?
What he did.
Why haven't he gotten back to at least the conference finals? Has it just been him?
That dumbass move I told y'all they shouldn't have made.
Well,
organization.
It's been injuries.
Organizational.
And his injuries.
And front office stuff.
Right. What did we just see? We just seen an organization lose a title that may not even be able to get back. But we will say, if Halliburton don't ever get back to this level, that he is an underachiever or believe that he's an underachiever.
I won't.
Whatever. Let me take that back. I ain't gonna say, but his career won't be judged in the same manner.
Because he ain't, first of all, he's early in his career.
Right now, he's not at that level.
I'm just saying if he don't never make that level. And let's just say his career, he'd never make it back to that.
Now,
never make it back to that.
If SGA had lost,
again,
then okay, yeah, because we think he's at that level, it would be a different conversation around it.
SGA just lost. They just lost, and SGA was doing the same thing.
He get the same treatment,
passing out to his teammates, and he
get the same treatment Luka about to get if he don't win one.
Well, see, Greg. Well, see you.
Same treatment.
You getting into.
What's the treatment that Barkley did? Barkley get that treatment?
You getting into situations. So. You're getting into situations.
Come on, man.
Great player who didn't win.
You getting into situations.
That's what we're talking about. This is the culture that's being created by sports media.
Shaq gives him the business about that all the time.
Thank you.
But it's because they're at this level up here. And you have to talk about that.
You have to, but you don't have to demean that man's career.
That's just Shaq being an ass, though. We don't do that. When we talk Power Force, we talked about Barkley on the Mount Rushmore.
On the Mount Rushmore because I don't. Rings ain't everything.
Because we didn't kill him
Rings
for
ain't everything.
But it does.
But he didn't.
But it does differentiate.
He didn't have him on there
because he used it as a differentiator.
Charles Barkley on the Mount Rushmore. You had KG over him.
Yeah. He used it as a differentiator.
Why? A ring.
No.
KG is not a better player than Charles Barkley.
Defense.
No.
Is KG a better?
Zach, thank you.
KG is not a better player than Charles Barkley.
In my opinion, he is.
Let's say this. Let's say Charles won that ring with Houston. He got that ring on his finger. He went to Houston. That's ring chasing. When you go to a championship organization, yeah, he ring chased in Miami, but coming back to Cleveland wasn't no ring chasing.
Well, the reason
Kevin Durant ring chasing Golden, but he wasn't ring chasing in Brooklyn.
The reason
or
why
Arizona.
See,
in Brooklyn he was.
But with reason,
how was he ring chasing? Had Brooklyn won anything? Had Kyrie won a championship.
Oh, okay. Catch yourself. But
was Kyrie the driving force? He was a player on the team. He wasn't the driving force on that championship team.
Okay, so when we talk about ring chasing, for me, when I talk about ring chasing, is when, like what LeBron did. LeBron's one of the best players in the league, several MVPs in his back pocket, and in his prime, he did that. In his prime, when I see KG, can I finish my point?
I know what you're finna. You better.
When I see KG go to the Celtics, when I see Ray Allen go to the Celtics, we talking about two players that already played 10, 11, 12 years in the league, not in their prime, go to another team to try to get a title.
Ring chasing.
The same thing with Charles. You mentioned Charles Barkley. When Charles Barkley went to the Rockets,
ring chasing.
I'm trying to finish my point, my nigga. That's what I'm trying to do.
Ring chasing.
I don't consider that ring chasing because he's past his prime.
Karl Malone.
He's not. He's past his prime.
That's ring chasing.
Don't
matter if they pass their prime.
He's past his prime. They're not the driving force of a team, and they are not leading their team. When LeBron went to Miami, he's the best player in the league and on his team. He went there to improve his chances at winning a title because he was not good enough to do it in Cleveland.
He wasn't good enough.
He was not good enough to do it.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Cleveland.
Right there.
Can I respond
This brings the point home. Thank you for saying that.
Can I respond to that?
He won.
Now, where I disagree with Jerry on that is...
Thank you for saying that. I knew you would get around to proving my point.
Where I disagree with him, I think it was all them people you named, I think they all ring chased. the difference for me is, and to the point, the thing I kind of agree with you on, is the competitive spirit of it when you're in your prime. That I don't think those players wanted to go play with anybody else in their prime to try to win a title. But I do think they all ring chased at the end. It's still him going to the Rockets.
Shaq even called it what he
Karl
did
Malone
at the
going to the
end of his
Lakers.
career.
They were trying to get a ring. I agree with that.
Right.
But it's something to being the best player in your prime and trying to do it. Let me do the easy way and try to go get it. It's different to me.
I'm not disputing.
I'm just talking about what he's saying. I agree it's ring chase.
I'm not disputing
I agree with you on that.
I said it as much. It was a ring chase going to Miami. But you can't tell me that that's not the same of him. You saying that he ring chased when he came back to Cleveland or going to the Lakers. How is that any different than what KG and Paul Pierce did? That's ring chasing. KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. That's ring chasing. Teaming up. 3 superstars.
I just gave my. I'm
I'm
not going to repeat myself.
Talk about they out of their.
I'm not going to repeat myself.
We've been on this for a minute.
The organization helps you to do that. They tried to. KG didn't have the help when he was in Minnesota. They brought in Sprewell. They brought in Sam Cassell.
They brought in the oldest version of Sprewell that we ever saw. Sam Cassell was probably about 38 years old. He was damn near 40.
Man, stop it.
We got to move though.
Differences in moving the goalposts.
He didn't get.
That's.
This
Greg, he didn't get Sprewell. He didn't get the Sprewell that left Golden State. Nigga, he got the one that left New York.
So it was okay for him to leave.
He got the one, who?
KG. KG got the fuck up out of there because he knew Minnesota couldn't do it for him.
He was out of his prime, Greg.
He was 30. How's that out of your prime?
And he left out of high school, so he already had 10, 11 years. I said that.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
I said that.
What the fuck we talking about now, dog?
He
out of his prime. 30 years old. He out of his prime. He teamed up with another superstar and another superstar to get a ring. Ring chasing.
Like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself.
That's ring chasing, man.
Okay.
You're just trying to make to make it a LeBron thing when it happens all the time. Again, championships are an organization thing. You have to have the right pieces. You got to have healthy people.
How am I making it a LeBron thing when LeBron, everybody says...
This segment is about LeBron.
Everybody says... If you wait a second,
last question.
If you wait a second, you will hear.
I'm gonna ask my last question.
LeBron, everybody says this. LeBron was in his prime when he went to Miami.
What was Cleveland doing? Was Cleveland getting anybody to him?
He was in his prime.
They was getting out of, just like you said with Sam. We said, how old was Shaq?
KG wasn't in his prime when he went to the Celtics, nor was Ray Allen.
How old was Shaq? JJ Hickson, my nigga.
I've already said that.
JJ Hickson, my nigga, over Amari Stoudemire. Nah, we're going to stay with JJ Hickson.
Hey.
Out of his prime, Antoine Jameson.
Greg,
but you're going to say he wasn't good enough.
This is the
organization wasn't good enough.
I agree.
So what do you mean?
I agree.
He left that bitch. Oh, well.
Okay.
He ran chase. So?
Dog, I didn't knock LeBron for leaving Cleveland. I did not knock when he left Cleveland.
Can I ask my last question?
When he left Cleveland.
Can I ask my last question?
When he left Cleveland, I did not knock him. I was one of the few people that said he probably gonna go to Miami. Once Pat Riley pull out them rings, that's where he's gonna be, right? But when I found out Chris Bosh was coming along, I was like, hold on now, wait a minute, I mean, you just eliminating the competition now. You killing the spirit of competition and literally the physical competition. And he literally said as much when he get on the freaking microphone dancing and yelling, saying that they gonna win 8. He said that.
The same.
He thought it was gonna be so easy when he teamed up with D Wade and Chris Bosh that he was gonna win 8 titles.
Didn't say any of that on the podcast.
And how many titles did he actually win when he got with the 3rd greatest shooting guard in basketball history who had already won a title? How many did he win out of that 8, my nigga?
2.
Wasn't good
2 out of 4.
So in the same
2 out of 4.
So in the same conversation, while this man is parading around the country, jumping on all these white boys podcasts. Jumping on all these podcasts with Tom, Dick, and Harry to try to, and as well as Clutch Agency, his company, with Rich Paul and all them doing the same things talking about why can't we have this discussion, that discussion, whatever, blah, blah, blah. While he's going around the country parading around trying to tell us that he's the greatest of all time.
3 minutes.
While he's the greatest of all time.
And we got to move.
It's been 3 minutes.
We got to move, y'all.
It's been 3 minutes.
He was not
you
good
saying
enough to do it.
It's been 3 minutes of you not saying anything that he said on the podcast. Last question.
And he ain't close.
He ain't the greatest, but he's number 2. That's what Magic Johnson said.
He ain't
Are
the
you
greatest.
better than Magic?
He ain't
Do you
the
know more
greatest.
than Magic Johnson?
He ain't the
No,
greatest.
the hell you don't.
He ain't
Last
close.
question before we move. Last question. Why do you not have LeBron in your top 10?
I do have LeBron in my top.
Why do you have him in your? Why don't you have LeBron in your top 7?
Because I think there's players better than him.
Why don't you? Why? What? Ed what?
Because I've seen them play basketball better than them.
Man, stop it. Stop it. There is
seen players.
You haven't.
I've seen players more skilled than LeBron James.
You haven't.
Most definitely.
The real answer, people, is that LeBron lost 6 finals. That's the real answer. That's his answer. Because he wasn't good enough to beat. He wasn't good enough to beat
the 6 finals.
He wasn't good enough to beat the Spurs.
Does go into his fold.
At 22 years old with no help. He wasn't good enough to beat. He wasn't good enough to beat the Spurs the second round when D Wade was playing on 2 bad knees and Chris Bosh was a no-show. He wasn't good enough to beat the
6 finals.
Can I finish? I let you finish.
Just lose the 6 finals.
He wasn't good enough to beat the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving broke down, and he wasn't good enough to beat the KD, Steph Curry dynasty with Kevin Love as his best player, and he was broke down by the end.
I agree.
Yeah, he wasn't good enough.
I agree.
He wasn't good enough.
I agree with you.
So speaking about not good enough, last year, your boy KD been traded
out of there
to the Houston Rockets. So he got to one of the destinations that he wanted to go. Suns get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, I think the number 10 pick this year's draft, and 5 second-rounders. Who won the trade? And it's an odd one to me because I don't like it for either team.
Oh, man.
I don't like it either way.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess I like it more for the Suns, but who won to you?
Oh, man. It's hard to say who won the trade. Wow. I'll say this. Houston got a better score, a more efficient score than Green. I don't know if that makes them better because at the same time they lost one of their best perimeter players, and perimeter is what Ime Udoka helped raise this team to number 2 in the West in the tougher conference. It was defense. So I don't know if that puts them over the top for me. And then on the Phoenix side, my God, they still need so much. Bringing in Jalen Green, I don't know how he fits in at all there.
I don't either with your boy Devin Booker. I don't get it either.
I don't know how that fits.
I don't think he's staying there. That's just my opinion. But.
Well, I hope they can move him because that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help that team. Bringing in Brooks, that does help because he's one of the better defenders we have in the league, even though he's also an antagonizer or as an antagonist on the court. So that does help them defensively, which they were poorest defensively, but they just need so much in Phoenix. So if you weigh it like that, then it's Houston. The easy answer would be Houston. To answer your question,
G.
Phoenix wasn't trying to do much other than to gain draft capital. They about to trade Bradley Beal, and I believe that.
Not if he don't want to go.
I believe Devin Booker is going to be on the move too.
He got a no trade clause. Booker
think they about to get every? You think they're going to get rid of
Bill?
Bill. They about to dump the whole roster.
Bill wouldn't let him trade him during the trade deadline. I don't think he want to leave. He might not be going nowhere.
Matt Ishbia be really boogered this thing up completely. He's meddling. He boogered.
So the Rockets are the Rockets.
What are they
theoretically? But again, I think I like Amen Thompson. I think he's gonna be
if he take a step with his shooting.
Yeah, definitely got to improve his shooting. But they'll be in the playoffs for sure. But as far as being a championship contender, I don't see it. Not with 37-year-old Kevin Durant as your best player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't.
I don't see how
that can't be
fits.
it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't see it either. I think, like I said, a better, more efficient scorer. They definitely got that. I don't take anything away from KD. He one of the all-time greats. But as far as putting the ball in the basket, and they need that. They need that. But does it move the needle to get them past the upper echelon? And I know that sounds funny to say it, but I don't look at them still as a 2 seed. I know they were the 2 seed this year. I don't think they can repeat that next year. I don't see it, bro.
Well, when you look at what they did,
not without more moves, and which I think they have more coming probably.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But back to your point, when you look at the results of them in the first round, it's hard to look at them as a second seed. I mean, they like I said, we talked about it earlier.
Right.
When you drop to a Golden State team that has far older players,
with a Jimmy who hadn't been there that long,
and they had, I think Steph didn't play in a game in the series, and Jimmy didn't play in a game in the series.
No size for real.
So come on,
you still lost.
It's hard to see them as a 2 seed. So how much better are they when we got to look at the whole landscape of the West? Denver, I'm hoping Denver can get better. I don't know how they're going to do it, but hoping Denver can get better. The Thunder are the lead dogs. Can the Lakers get better? Can Luka's body hold up? Will he come in shape, and will his body hold up? Can they build a team? If they trying to strip some Celtic players, then yes, they could possibly build a better team to get a title or be better in the West. So, yeah, I wouldn't. There's no way I would be trying to build around KD. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, me either. I mean, from all signs, it looks like he'll probably get an extension with them. So he's probably looking at a 2 to 3 year window max. I think he was coming into the last year of this deal, and he wanted a new deal. I think a 2-year deal in order to sign wherever he was going to sign. So probably looking at 2 years to see what they can do. You know what I'm saying?
And your boy Leonard Robinson talking about I wanted him to play with younger players. Hell, the only younger player he got on there is A-Man Thompson. Van Fleet ain't that young.
Jabari,
but
what's this, year 3 for Jabari?
Nah, this year 4.
Is it 4 going into 4 this year. So yeah, we'll see, man.
Jabari,
I mean, they have
a good offensive player, but defense.
They've got a good team.
To be fair, Jabari's growth got stunted a little bit because he had an injury.
Yeah.
This year, and then he was moved in and out of the starting lineup, then completely moved out of the starting lineup.
Yeah, he's gonna have to take a step up because he's looking like
one of those.
He's not looking like the player that they drafted.
Right, him or Thompson gonna have to take a big leap this year. One of them.
Those 2 players start. If their starting lineup is actually Van Vliet, Thompson, KD, Jabari,
I think Jabari probably still come off the bench. KD will probably be at the 4. Ooh. And they'll probably try to get him another guard.
KD's best position, is 4. He's been a 4 ever since he left Golden State. So that's his best position now.
They probably move KD to the 4 and probably try to get a guard.
But Jabari can play the 3. He can play a big 3. He's guarding.
I mean, they'll have lineups with them in there.
Yeah, they're gonna be an interesting watch next year to see what they can do. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of interesting, the Lakers sold. Bus family sells the Lakers over $10 billion with a B.
billion.
With a B.
Is that the highest valuation for a franchise?
It's the highest
sale of a franchise.
The Knicks were valued at $10 billion.
Yeah, highest
years
sale.
ago.
Yeah,
they still ain't got a valuation higher than them Cowboys.
What was the Cowboys, baby?
Like $90 billion.
Oh, man.
So I mean, this could be a good thing. You know what I'm saying, for the Lakers. Now they got some deep pockets. You know what I'm saying. We'll see how it play out. What's your thoughts on the sale? I know you say we're just going to touch on it for a second, but that's a big number. I see why they had to do it. They're a family, kind of a mom and pop deal as far as NBA teams go. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why they sold.
I heard Bill Simmons talk about this a year ago. So I heard about this coming down the pipe. I didn't want to believe it, just because of history and what I just can't imagine being in the shoes of Jeannie Buss and knowing how much the team meant to her father and the family, and they sell it. But in this climate, it makes sense. And that's some of the things that I heard Mark Cuban discuss and why he sold the Mavericks. He was just saying that at some point, breaking even and breaking less than even over and over and over again just doesn't make sense, even though this is, one of the part of his legacy, so to speak. So dollars,
10.1
dollars over
$100
cents.
million more than the Lakers' valuation.
Dollars over cents is what they did, and with them not being the realty power that they were when her dad was in control of the team, this was a move for the family.
And then another thing I read too, like in February, they were valued at, I think there was 8 billion, and then they get an offer $2 billion above that. Mm-hmm. You got to take that. Yeah. It's hard to say no to that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you get a bid that's $2 billion above what your valuation was in February. You know what I'm saying?
What's crazy to me though is that Jeannie's still going to be kind of like
running the show. Yeah, she's going to be running the show for him. Because these big conglomerates are buying these teams. It's not normally it's not just
going to include Magic at some point. He was the majority owner of the Dodgers.
Right.
Magic was a minority owner.
Probably, at some point.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't think
I'd be shocked if he didn't have a piece now. A small piece somewhere now.
I fully believe that the Bus family will be their positions will be lessened over time. I believe that because this guy is known for coming in and getting the best GM and the best everything to get the team rolling, just like he did with the Dodgers. He's known for that. So their days are numbered. Pelinka, your days are numbered. What's my man played for the Lake? Kurt
Rambis.
Kurt Rambis, your days are numbered. So I believe everybody Genie hired, they're gonna be out of there soon. I truly believe that. But it's the climate. Mark Cuban sold, the Boston Celtics sold. Now we got the Lakers sold. I think we're about to go into an era where all of these long-standing owners are gonna sell just because it makes sense.
Yeah, it says, the thing they put out, it says it was guaranteed in writing with the agreement that Jeannie Buss will remain in charge for the foreseeable future the next few years. So, for a number of years. So, looks like she wanted to keep running it for the next few years or whatever. So
foreseeable could be 2.
Right, that's what I'm saying. At least for the next few years.
With the person that bought
she'll be in charge for the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We'll see, man. Maybe it means like I said, they got deeper pockets and go out and spend a little more. We'll see. But let's get to this next topic, man.
Hip hop. Don't stop.
Changing gears, getting off sports for a minute because that got a little heated with the Bron segments.
Love it.
So we got to bring it down a little bit to something we all love here, hip hop. And we're going to do our Mount Rushmore of rappers. Solo, not groups, individual rappers. Mount Rushmore.
Oh. First, let's talk about this.
Go ahead.
Like, what makes a rapper the greatest of all time? Because we could talk about our favorites.
Right.
We all have our favorite rappers.
Of course, you got to have the bars, got to have the verses, you know what I'm saying? The career impact, the influence, the catalog, you know what I'm saying?
All those things. You got to have commercial success.
Got to have it. It's part of it. But is it necessary?
Yeah.
Why?
To be on the Mount Rushmore?
To be the greatest rapper.
Yeah, we're not saying that's okay. So are we saying greatest?
So are we talking
lyricist?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Are we talking about just the greatest rapper?
Right,
like exactly. That encompasses all of that because we could talk. You had lyrics. Being able to flow is one of them,
and that's
why,
one of the
attributes.
That's why it's 3 individual old heads in these chairs. You take it where you want. I'll take it where I want.
But then that means we finna argue. We finna have an argument.
You take it where you want. Who want to go first?
I gotta go with Soulja Boy, Silk the Shocker.
Oh yeah. Next. Next.
Soulja Boy, Silk the Shocker. I'm just kidding.
All right, are there any we agree on that we think we might agree on? Let's start.
I don't think we're gonna agree.
Any we might agree on.
Y'all finna go with your favorites.
No, any that we might agree on.
I don't think we're gonna agree on.
All right, I'm throwing some out there that people normally agree on. Jay-Z.
He on mine. Jay-Z on mine. Jigga Man on mine.
You know he on there. Go on, say yeah. You just prolonging this. Go on, say yeah. All right, Jay-Z. We all agree on Jay-Z.
Jay-Z on there. Jay-Z on the Mount Rushmore. Why? Why? Let's talk about why.
Right.
Why is Jay-Z on there?
Okay, so 2. We'll agree on 2. I think we all agree.
Hold on. Let's talk about why. Why is Jigga Man on there?
For me, it's the lyrics. That's part of it. The longevity of it. You know what I'm saying? The catalog is definitely there. You know what I'm saying?
The commercial
The
success.
commercial success is a big part.
So he's hitting a whole lot of these.
Influence.
Influence.
The culture is there.
He's hitting a lot of this.
So for me, all that. It's all. He's kind of that one that's all encompassing. When you think successful rapper, how to do it, build a whole brand up, turn yourself into a billionaire.
Now, he's not the greatest lyricist.
No, he's not the greatest. He got some great ones. Now, he got some great bars.
He got some.
But I wouldn't say he's the greatest.
All right. So
That's for me why he on.
why I agree with you. I'm there.
I-
The commercial success more so than anything, like the
That's
way
a big
that he
part of it.
and his influence on
He's the biggest.
moving rap away from big T-shirts and just the whole
Right.
culture of rap.
Right.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
showing that you can grow up in it.
Yeah.
and become a grown man.
you can be a
in
grown
rap.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I give him props. for
Making
that.
the power moves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How
I
he
don't
was
have
able
to stay in the streets. I can elevate
Right.
throughout the whole process.
Unlike Jim Jones, but that's another.
I respect the I respect elevation.
Right.
He
You know what I'm
elevated
saying?
himself.
Going to the board. You know what I'm saying? Being a CEO, being,
And I definitely
being a
respect
power shaker. He was
Power broker
Power
all day
broker,
long.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right,
the LeBron of rap.
I'm going to throw another one out there. Big.
Definitely Biggie on there.
No.
He on there for me.
No.
Gee, that's some bullshit.
No. See, you getting caught up in the what would have been of Big.
No,
The catalog too small. Just not enough meat on the bone with Big. For
What
me.
do you
know what I'm
mean?
saying? It's just not enough.
You got a tomahawk steak right there
No,
in
sir.
those years.
Not. It's you're thinking the nostalgia of it. I'll go back and I did this for this yesterday. I went back and listened to it. I said, let me listen to this shit again.
And you saying that what you heard wasn't great?
I'm saying some of it was great, but not great enough to be on the Mount Rushmore. It's not enough.
I would like
So-
to hear
It's not enough. It's not enough.
who was on there, because
It's not enough.
who do you have on
I
there?
ain't done yet. I just
Who
know
you have on
he
there?
ain't on there.
That's some bullshit.
He's not on there.
Let me tell you why he is on there. Now
not
I
on
get
there.
that he don't have the biggest catalog because unfortunately he met an untimely death.
I can't give you credit, just like I can't give Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill. I can't give you credit for what you didn't do.
We ain't giving him credit. We giving him credit for what he did do.
It wasn't enough to be on the Mount
Those
Rushmore.
two albums,
No.
With him
one of them
with
being
him
a
having-
double
with
album.
Him having Biggie on his Mount Rushmore, that's right in line with LeBron James being.
You mean to tell me what you saw out of Biggie and those two lyrics?
If I project
Lyrics
going forward,
No, we ain't
yep.
talking about projecting. We're talking about these two albums.
Nope, it wasn't enough.
These lyrics.
Wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough.
They weren't
enough.
great.
They were.
I didn't say
They
that
weren't
it
one of the
wasn't. I
greatest.
said it wasn't enough.
Did he influence hip hop at the time?
Wasn't enough.
I mean, no more than what it was. I mean, it ain't like he took it somewhere. Where did he take it? Hip hop was already doing what it was doing when he got
It
there.
was doing what
he
it
was
was
just
doing.
he was just next in line from New
Part
York.
of the wave. He didn't.
He was the one that captured the New York audience
He was
and made them follow him because New York was all over the place.
No.
New York was all over the place. New York City was all over
He
the
was
place.
just next up in New York. He was next up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just next in line. That's just how New York.
It's-
He was
it's
next.
too-
He was the next big thing out of New York.
Right.
I'm sorry.
the
It
next
just wasn't
big
enough.
thing out of New York.
It just wasn't
There
enough.
was none that ever approached it until Jay-Z.
No.
He ain't on there.
LL Cool J.
See, he never gets enough respect.
I know.
He never
He gets enough respect.
His catalog.
That was before Biggie.
Crazy. Crazy. He don't
And
get
I'm
enough
not even a
respect.
fan.
He don't get enough respect.
Outside his first
He
couple
was
albums,
before
I'm not
Jay-Z.
even a fan.
He was before Jay-Z. He was before Big, LL Cool J.
Right.
I'm talking about
That's
after.
what I'm saying.
After
So he
New
was-
York hasn't captured that audience since that Biggie Jay-Z.
Who else on
wave.
yours?
Tupac.
He on yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we agree on Pop.
That's
Well, if you're saying Biggie's catalog ain't big enough,
Now I can show you the two catalogs. It's a big difference, sir.
You're gonna bring up the shit the post-mortem shit when he died? You can't even count that shit. You can't even count that shit. Now he had some bangers on there, but
Come on,
man.
Greg,
After he died,
You can't compare the two.
You can't make that comparison.
Right.
Greg, that man had 2 fucking albums versus somebody that had way more than 2. So stop.
how many albums Tupac had?
I don't know how many he had complete.
How many before he died? How many albums did he have? He had the first album, which was
Brenda's Got a Baby on it.
the one where Brenda's Got a Baby. Tupac Lives Now.
Right.
That one wasn't that hot.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh man, God,
That's the one I
Stop
rode to that forever.
He had the Strictly for My Niggas. Then he had All Eyes, not All Eyes on Me. He had it wasn't All Eyes on Me. It was
I'm missing one. Damn.
What's the
already
one?
at 3, so
What's the one?
saying.
I know the one you're thinking about.
With No More Tears.
Yeah,
Shed So Many Tears.
Me Against the World.
Me Against the World. Then he had All Eyes on Me. That was a double album. And then he had Machiavelli. 5 albums.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That's almost triple.
That's 3 albums.
That's almost
That's
triple.
3 albums.
Almost tripled. Come on, dog. Stop it.
Man, hey, bro. It was
Well,
Tupac
Pac is on all of
and
ours.
it was Biggie.
Biggie is
it
not.
was Tupac and it was Biggie.
So like I said, Pac is on all of ours.
You already
Biggie is
at
not.
3.
How many of them were classics?
You already, but I'm saying you already.
How many were
no,
classics?
No, you already at 3.
Right, you ain't got one more
on your
spot.
Mount Rushmore.
You got one more spot.
What's your last spot?
No, I didn't say it mine. Y'all, come on. I
Might as well
need
go on,
y'all to
give it.
tell me who.
No, you ain't got but one left.
No, I'm holding that. Who do you got over
Who
Biggie?
you got, Jay?
I got Ice Cube.
Man, stop. Ice Cube a better rapper than Notorious Big.
Ice Cube is my.
See, now you're changing the narrative.
I'm not
You're saying
changing the
better
narrative.
rapper. Now you limited it to just his catalog is better.
That's all.
What?
That's it.
Cultural influence ain't better.
No, not better than Biggie's.
The whole NWA thing.
That wasn't him by himself.
But he was in the group. He was a rapper in the group.
He was in the group. But
So you have to count the shit he did in the group.
Oh my God.
Oh my! So you can't
Oh
count the
my God.
work he did individually in the group.
You can, but you can't say that he had a better impact than Biggie.
But he was a part of
He was
NWA.
a part of it. He was a part of an NWA movement.
When you think
But
NWA,
it wasn't just
who you
him.
think first when you think NWA?
Who do I think? Eazy.
Get the fuck out of here.
He had one album with NWA.
Who wrote the shit?
He had one.
Who wrote it?
Matter of fact, tell me the classics. Because Biggie got 2 certified classics. Biggie got 2 certified classics. Tell me the classics that Ice Cube got. How many classics he got?
You're not gonna.
How many classics he got?
Especially with me, because Cube is my all-time favorite artist.
I got Cube up
And
there,
you-
but he's not on my Mount Rushmore. He ain't better than Biggie. No way, no how.
Jesus Christ.
He's not a better rapper. Definitely not a better rapper.
I got him as.
He got more albums. A better catalog. I think having I'm gonna let you have it. But having a longer catalog does not equate to being a
America's
better
Most
rapper.
Wanted won a banger.
It was good.
F Certificate wasn't good.
Those 2 were good albums. Were they classics though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what's
Yes.
a classic if those 2 are not?
Right. Nigga, what the fuck are we talking about
Name me
then?
3 songs off of those albums. Name me 3 songs off of those albums.
Off my dome right now, this time now, I can't name you 3 off Biggie, and I just
Yeah,
listened
you
to
can.
it.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
can.
can't. Juicy. And I couldn't give you 3 more.
Man, stop.
Come on, dog.
Stop.
Come on, dog. Stop it, dog. You with the bullshit now.
No, you with the bullshit.
You with the bullshit now, dog.
None of those albums
What's your third one?
that Ice Cube had were better than.
No, Cube is on mine.
Oh, okay. You got
Cube is on mine.
So what's your 4th?
No, y'all go. I did mine. Go ahead. Y'all
No,
go.
it's your turn. We
Y'all
just
go.
went. It's
Y'all-
on you.
Who y'all got?
Who is your 4?
Y'all got Tupac. No.
Who
y'all
is your damn 4?
You got Tupac. You got who else? Ice
Jay.
Cube and Jigga.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. What's your 4?
It's back to you now. We just
Go
went
ahead.
around.
Scarface.
My God.
Who you got?
Over Notorious Big. Again, I love Scarface. He's one of my top 20 rappers of all time. Over Notorious Big, y'all need to be taken outside and beat with a bat. Please, America, take us seriously.
Greg, you talking about Mount Rushmore. You only get 4 options. There is no way. I didn't even consider Biggie. I like Biggie.
I do too.
I know his first album backwards and forward.
Yeah,
guess what? He can't be on the Mount Rushmore with 2
classics.
With 2
what you call
projects.
What you
Two
call
classics.
2 classics. What
Two
you
classics.
call 2 classics. What you call 2 classics.
No, what the world called 2
Nah,
classics.
nigga, both of them shits went classic.
All right, let's look at their platinum statuses, please. Let's look at their platinum. Pull that up for us.
I got you.
Pull that up for us. Let's look at that. How many?
Give us your last person.
How many albums did any of those albums sold over his? All right, my last one is Andre 3000.
What? Come on, man. You talk about. All right. Greg, this is what I'm going to say about your list, Greg. Your list definitely does not encapsulate everything that we discussed as far as what would put somebody on the Mount Rushmore. You have chosen a lane for Biggie, and I like Andre 3000. I think he's dope. He's super dope. But to have him on the Mount Rushmore,
Ready to Die, so 6 million.
How many did what you said? Death certificate.
Death certificate, and down here it says it depends on how you want to count it. You could call it 5.5 million. They said, but if you count both of them, it's 11. So really, it's 5.5 because it's one goddamn album.
Okay.
So 5.5 million.
To 6.
All right. All right. Go ahead. But no, go ahead.
What Death certificate was a 2 CD album? Yeah, pull them up.
I got it. But who your last person? Oh, you said Andre.
Andre 3000.
Who you had, Jared?
3 stacks.
Scarface.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up this information for Greg right quick.
No, keep going. Who you got? Who you got? We can pull that up later. Who you got? Who do you have? Over Notorious Big. He done said Ice Cube and Scarface, who are, again, I love Scarface.
All Eyes on Me, 10 million. Hell, Illuminati. And that wasn't even
All Eyes
great.
on Me was a two.
That right. This is 10 million total album. So
yeah,
10 million.
Life After Death, how many was that?
No, but this is not counting it twice. Just sales, 10 million.
Yeah, I got Tupac
Right.
as one of the Mount Rushmore.
Hell, the Illuminati one sold 5 million. Me Against the World, 3 million.
With Death Certificate.
What?
Is that what we saying?
5.5.
Okay, he had that ain't 6.
But he did that. He
That
did 10 million on All Eyes on Me. So what are we talking about?
Who did 2
Pop.
million?
So what are you talking about?
Hey, I'm not disputing Pop.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Ice Cube.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's get him.
Who is your 4th? Who is on your 4th?
It's coming. It's coming.
God damn.
Don't worry about who it is. Oh, your horses. Don't worry about who it is.
You better not say no KRS-One.
I might.
Rakim got strong consideration for me.
Man, I thought about him.
Rakim got strong.
Just not enough to album sales and shit. It was different time though for him, so that kind of.
Because I really wanted to do my Mount Rushmore like we did basketball, where I could, consider the historical value and everything else is brought to the table lyrically and culture wise as well. But it's just tough to do.
Last for me, man. This one was tough for me. Yeah, it was tough. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yin Yang Twins.
See, this is where I was gonna go Master P. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
P.
Give me. It came down to me. It definitely wasn't no damn Andre 3000. I thought about Ye, but he falling off so much. You know
Man, I kicked this goddamn. Kick that Mac out your hand.
I thought about Drake,
Hell no.
but I said hell no.
Hell no.
Drake.
And it would just be the sales part is crazy. You know what
That's
I mean?
why you can't go by that.
That's
Y'all-
why you just
y'all
can't
taking
go by.
that-
That's
y'all
why you
talking-
can't just go by that. You know what I'm saying?
Again,
you can't.
You
do
have
it.
to look. The man got killed. He didn't just have 2 albums and then that was it. And he got killed. He got killed. He had 2 classic albums.
But I'm
Listen to this. listen to this, because I don't even want to hear your fourth one, because you talking some dumb shit.
Nah, I'm bullshitting, but I got my 4. Go ahead, though.
Less than a dozen rap albums have received diamond status.
So?
Life After Death is one of them.
So?
All Eyes on Me is the other.
Okay.
The motherfucker was one of the best rappers of all time.
No.
You can't tell me Ice Cube is a better rapper than Notorious Big. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me Scarface is. Stop it.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. You
I
cannot.
can.
You can only say that he had more albums.
I can tell you that Scarface, to me, is a better rapper than Big. I can tell you that in all honesty, that
Scarface
I think he's a better rapper.
He's an elite rapper. He's one of the best rappers of all time. But he ain't Notorious Big. He is not Biggie. He is not Biggie
Based
Smalls.
off what? Gee.
Based off of what we hear as rhyme pattern, flow, being able to be.
And Scarface don't have none of that.
He got it, but he ain't better than Biggie. He ain't better than Biggie. Stop it. And I'm one of the. I'm a South is the shit. I'm one of them.
Nah,
but he's not better than Biggie.
You sounded like a Timberland wearing one pants leg higher than the other type.
Nigga, you know that ain't me. You know that. You know I hate them New York niggas.
That's exactly.
You know I hate
exactly what you sound like.
You know I hate him, but you cannot deny. You cannot deny Biggie's impact. In the few years that he was on,
He's not on the wrong.
He's not on.
I'm gonna have to go and put Nas on.
I can't do
it.
it. Oh, he went with Nasir Jones.
I got to, man.
Nas up there. Nas was on my Nas.
Fan.
I was going back and forth between Nas and Andre 3000.
I got to. You know, he got to be there.
I have never.
Andre 3000 is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
I have never.
Everybody's favorite rapper is Andre 3000. We don't even talk about the lyrics.
I ain't even talk about your love for Outkast, so I knew the nigga was gonna be on yours already. I knew that nigga.
I tried to get him out of there.
What he got? He got 2 albums too, right? How many albums? Andre got?
But he's contributed. I'm talking. Yeah, he only got 2 albums.
We can't count NWA for old boy.
I didn't say you couldn't.
Don't count that. When most of this nigga shit is out
somebody
there.
else. Right?
Dante.
I mean, God,
Dante.
come on, dog.
He was
Make up
on,
your mind about it, dog.
How many albums was he on with NWA?
But
one.
So what?
One.
So what?
One.
His whole damn catalog is with another nigga.
No, it ain't.
Well, except for that flute shit.
No, you forgot about Speaker Box and The Love Below.
That's both of them was on that.
Yeah, he went.
Both of them on that.
Speaker Box was one album. Love Below was another album.
When you bought them, did they come together?
Right.
Yeah, they came together.
Right.
But they went. They were 2 separate albums.
But you needed.
They were 2 separate albums.
You bought that album. They both came
They were 2
together.
separate albums.
When you bought them, they
were
both
2
came
separate
together.
albums.
You paid one price and got both of them.
That mean they both felt it was better to sell this album that we together than a
Thank you.
Hey,
basically.
Shout out to Drake, one of the top selling artists of all time.
I told you that's the only thing that he got to me.
He got lyrics too. Shout out to Kanye West. I can't stand you. You MAGA wearing crackhead.
Everything he's saying about Ye, you can add that to Drake for me.
So for me, Pop, Big, not Jay-Z.
Yeah, you caught yourself.
No,
you caught yourself.
No, I'm looking at Big on the screen.
You caught yourself.
It's because I'm looking at Big
Man,
on the screen right here.
Big on everybody, Mount Rushmore. I don't know what you two are talking about.
So all 3 of us had 3 of the same.
Pop,
Is that right?
Jay-Z.
No, we had 2. We had Pac and Jay-Z.
Oh, no, you had Andre.
Me and you had 3 of the same.
Right. Q got to be on there. I don't know. Total Impact, lyrics. He got to be on there.
Man.
Impact on the culture. He got to be on there.
He just don't credit West Coast culture. Rap.
I love Ice Cube. What are you talking about?
I can't tell.
I love Ice Cube.
I can't tell.
I love Ice Cube. Stop it.
Okay.
I love Scarface. Stop it.
Okay. All right.
These are but we talking about 4 of the best rappers of all time. And you just can't say because of the amount of albums that they've been put out.
His
that's ridiculous.
His low top 10s are in the car, ladies and gentlemen. His low top 10s are in the car.
and your straight jacket is in the car.
All right, man. We got to get to what we calling, man, the weekly wrap up. And this is not just sports. It's sports, entertainment, politics. What's on the table for the wrap up, man?
Man, we wrapping up
week,
all of it.
We got a lot of shit going on this week, man.
We gotta trash AP for all. And when I say AP, we're talking about Adrian Peterson all day, Minnesota Viking.
Poker table.
Blew $100 million, had to play poker, and got into a fight with his boy. Was it his homeboy?
They said, one of the articles I read said it was a friend of his.
So he blew his chance to win $100 million. He didn't win $100 million.
No, I'm talking about he blew $100 million in his career earnings in the NFL. You know, he was bankrupt for. Wasn't he? Didn't go bankrupt?
I mean, he wasn't a smart dude. What are you talking about? He didn't come off as a smart.
That's why I said he blew through $100 million and.
Okay.
I mean,
I can
It
believe
was
that
like
part.
a private game or whatever, and I don't know. I heard it was a friend. On one of the articles I was reading, said it was one of his friends that
a friend of a friend.
Yeah, some probably.
So did this take place at a casino?
I don't know. It didn't look like a casino.
Oh, so this is some street gambling.
It was a social club.
No, they
was like
was
a
in
social club in Houston.
They was in a venue somewhere,
okay.
but it wasn't a casino.
Gambling.
Yeah, it said, he and one of his buddies got involved in a disagreement. So they was pretty close, probably.
Kind of like what we just got into.
Right.
Jared was ready to swing.
Swinging.
I just want you
Ball
to shut
sucking.
up. That's all I wanted. I wasn't gonna fight you to get you
What
to
was you
shut up.
calling that made him mad?
Ball sucker.
Because he was getting heated.
Yeah, you mad and then call us bronze sexual. Stop it, man. Stop it. No, that's
Ball
a gay
sucker and broad sexual, two different things.
They are the same.
No,
So your boy Jim Jones and Shannon going back and forth. What Jim Jones say?
It wasn't that. I mean, Shannon really
I'm
was
saying
just
about what he said. Though.
Shannon was just ripping. The conversation happened on. He was just referring back to the dumb shit Jim Jones had said on the podcast.
He was more
with Fat Joe. With Fat Joe and Jada
And Jadakiss.
and Jadakiss. He said that his catalog. Back to his catalog was better than Nas's. And
Name a Jim Jones song.
the ballin'.
Name a Jim Jones song. That's it.
That's it.
Stop it, Capo.
That's it.
And the internet ate him up because he
They're supposed to.
Because he kept saying you can check the stats, check the billboards. I got entries.
Listen.
Billboard came out and shut him down.
Listen, Jim Jones. Why? Like, stop. Like, for real, stop. Sell your clothes. You know what I'm saying?
And then that what and a lot of folks on the internet were like, his clothes, don't nobody dress like Nas no more. What the hell we talking about? Is this a fashion show?
Right.
Listen, whatever,
New York, man, New York.
He was printing shirts and shit.
Hey, y'all New York dudes, man, y'all need to stop.
Like, do that. Or do that and then tour and rap. But he can't really do that because the group ain't together, I guess. But just do that. But all this other stuff he tried to do, like he tried to stay relevant as if he was ever like really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
As if he was ever really
like
relevant.
Dipset was really that like they had a run. You didn't have a run.
And again, you get on these things with New York niggas talking like, yeah, in Jersey they was this. In Jersey,
so
right, in Jersey maybe, but
the only
the
people
belt buckle with the belt buckle and the stonewatch jeans.
The only people that's gonna ride with that Jim Jones bullshit are the same people that felt like they won the verses over
man, Jadakiss.
They the only ones.
Didn't nobody who felt like they won.
I'm just saying there was
they got destroyed.
There was some people I know.
That was the worst beating
that said
that I ever seen in the verses.
Like
it was bad.
I didn't even understand the actual matchup other than them all being from
New York.
Right.
But I did have one person.
They had that street culture. They always on there.
I had one person tell me that Dipset's catalog was better than what the Locks had, and I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was never.
Y'all go with their catalog.
Cameron.
Again, having more albums don't mean you was better.
To me, when I say catalog, I mean shit that people know. You can't just have a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can put out 30 albums.
Which
when I say you got a catalog, it means shit that people actually listen to.
Right. So everybody listens to Biggie.
Because everybody does.
Everybody used to listen to Cube.
But everybody don't.
I bought them all.
You can't name more than 3 songs off of that damn death certificate.
And you can't name none off Dipset's album, not one.
I thought you was about to say Biggest. I was about to shut you down.
All right, so quick shout out, John Jones retirement from the UFC.
We forgot one more breaking with. Oh, okay.
Ain't done. Yeah, I ain't done. I'm just saying for this one, John Jones retirement from UFC. Could have been a whole lot better if the The white powder hadn't got him, but it is what it is. He was still a great.
He on that powder?
What?
I ain't know
That's why
that.
he fell off so bad for a bunch of years.
What?
He didn't get beat. He just was.
He had his.
He got suspended, didn't he?
We can be politically correct and say he's had his demons.
Yeah,
he's had his
exactly,
demons.
Exactly, he has his demons to deal with.
Man, say it ain't so, John Jones. You was playing with your nose.
Yeah, which is why I don't
Stop
think he
it.
ever was as great as he would have been had he.
Great. He wasn't great.
He was all right. After a while, so
Whoa,
he
what?
wasn't like he
is the
was in the
discussion.
beginning.
What?
In the beginning, man, John Jones was fierce. After a while, it was just like, man.
He still was
He was
winning.
undefeated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was slower. It wasn't
but
the
he was
same,
still
man.
undefeated.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same.
Nobody ever
When you
beat
look at him then and look at him later, it's not the same dude.
He wasn't
He was
10, folks.
bigger, and yeah, so he still won. He was talented, but in the beginning, he was something.
He's still
different, dog.
he's still the best fighter, the
He
best
was something
UFC
different.
fighter of all time, from my eyes.
He
From
beat-
what I can
didn't he
tell.
beat the Spider?
I don't follow UFC like that though, so y'all get to chime in. Let me know. I think John Jones was probably the
I
best
thought
to
he
ever
was
do
better
it.
early than he was late. That's all I'm saying.
I've
mean,
never
Michael
seen
Jordan
him-
was
I've
better
never
early,
seen
too,
him
but-
not be great. I've
He
never
was really
seen.
great in the middle too.
I've never seen John Jones not. I've never seen Bones Jones not be great.
Oh no,
That-
I didn't see some not
that
good
back-
performances.
that back-
All them performances was not good.
Yeah, I see.
You ain't been watching then.
Yeah.
Shit.
You ain't been
I seen him go. I seen him go to distance with some
Yeah,
players.
some
That,
shit where he ain't look that great.
yeah, I seen him go to distance, but he won.
He won. Yeah, he still won. But yeah, I saw some where he didn't look like that. He wasn't like that.
I ain't never seen him almost lose. I ain't never seen when
I
he
ain't
looked
say
like
he
he had a
almost lost. I
chance.
just say he didn't
That's
look great
what
like
I mean by great.
That. Oh,
He ain't. I ain't never seen him.
He
where
was that great that he was still whooping motherfuckers on their powder.
Right.
Damn, that's great.
Well,
I've never seen a moment of trepidation where I felt like he was about to lose a fight.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I think he had one real close fight though.
Yeah.
I
And
missed
last,
Against Stipe, they won it against
Let
Stipe.
me see.
Yeah, it was Stipe. And I remember seeing that when they were saying that he didn't look too good, but he still won on the decision.
technician.
And he did lose one. He was 28-1.
1L.
So, lastly, we got to get a little serious and talk about this bombing of Iran that Trump has been touting the last couple of days, whatever. Thoughts?
America is stupid. If you ever seen the movie Idiocracy, we damn near close to that. We don't learn from nothing. We ain't learned from the first Trump presidency that he wasn't good enough to run a Waffle House is what I always say. People saying that he was going to get people out of war. He wasn't going to start no wars. And they don't even realize that he was trying to do stuff, covert stuff anyway. Like, I mean, a lot of presidents do bomb stuff, but he was trying to do some stuff that was outside of the norm where the military heads were like, no, they had to talk him out of it. They had to talk him out of using the military against protesters in D.C. So for us to reelect this dude and then for us to continue to make the same mistakes in the Middle East, talking about weapons of destruction and all these nuclear weapons, the same lies they marched us into the war in 2003, they doing it again. Stupid. Straight stupid.
Jerry, what's your thoughts, bro?
Man, listen, we've leaked messages of covert operations during this presidency. We have listened to this man misappropriate things left and right, whether it has to do with history or knowing what tariffs are and how they actually work. We have to be like the laughing stock when it comes to the leader of this country. We have to be the laughing stock. Every time I see him speak or every time I see him amongst other leaders, he always looks like the least intelligent person in the room. He always says something that somebody has to correct or somebody has to interrupt.
Or lie about that he said that what he meant when he said what he said.
I think it started that way, but now I think they're starting to see him for the dangerous person that he
I
is.
don't think so.
I'm saying the world is.
Oh yeah,
not
yeah.
Republicans. I'm saying
Yeah.
the world
Yes,
now is starting
for
to see him as the dangerous risk that he is.
Before,
I'm with you. They were just laughing. This dude was a clown, and I still think they think that. But now I think they're starting to turn toward, okay, this dude might lead the world down a path that's really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I think their world leaders are starting to see that now, that this could be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This dude's a problem.
And he's definitely a problem. And somebody, I ain't gonna say it.
And getting back to,
please don't say it.
And getting back to, some of the things that Greg was saying, it's the worst of us, in my opinion. And when I'm talking about Americans, it is the worst of us that not only voted for this man, but were willing to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the things that we know are wrong with his character, the things that we know are wrong with his dealings. When you talk about him being a quote unquote businessman, we know all of these things, and the worst of us still wanted this man in power. So when we end up in wars,
World War III,
like this,
when
China
we're talking about get involved,
we're talking about nuclear weapons all over again, and
Russia already talking about they may sell them some warheads.
I mean, look at
your buddy, right?
Look at everything that's happened. Like how can you look at Donald Trump and not see anything more than, number one, a coward, number two, a
buffoon,
unintelligent for sure, greedy, right, and almost inhumane when you talk about the leader of America and leading people in a country. Try to get us to some type of middle ground, but instead, when you're trying to cut all these funds that help people in this country, it's sickening. It's a sickening thought process that you have to have, where you are willing to look at people that if they lose this money or this support, they're probably going to die. More than likely, this group of people are going to die. So if you know that's going to happen, I can only look at it as if it's intentional. How else can I look at it? If you take people's Medicaid that live on it, right? If you reduce veterans' pay that have fought for this country, if you do these things, then they have to live a lesser form of life, right? So when you're doing this type of stuff, man, and then giving the biggest tax break to the richest of the rich, I mean, what it's intentional, man.
An insufferable narcissist.
It's so much. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
this is just the beginning, man. We ain't
feel
even
like
been
you've been in
year.
office for 2 years.
We ain't even made it a year yet,
it's been
bro.
6 months
because of the previous 4 years and the 4 years after that. Man,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy,
unimaginable.
But for the old heads, man, we thank y'all for listening in, tuning in today, man. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. Also, the Facebook page, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. Hit us up. We'll be more than happy to have you on the Facebook page.
Clutch Sports. Hit me up, baby. Clutch. Hit me up.
For my LeBron is the GOAT man over here, Greg. That boy JW.
Stop. Don't lie. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on me.